We all have music within us. It's one of the first ways we came together as a species and community was to sing and dance together. It's in our cells. We've evolved with it. And you feel it when you're connecting with music, when you hear it, or when you sing together, or when we dance. That's why we all love it so much. And having accessible instruments like this that are really straightforward to learn allows us to access that. And it's such a gift in life to be able to express that music within us and connect to that part of ourselves. One of the amazing things about music, about sound, is it happens in the present moment. And it's such a meditation to sit down and play, to connect with your breath and to connect with sound, really pulls you into that present moment. And it's so relaxing. You can do it in your backyard. You can do it in your living room. The flutes are great for walking, putting in a backpack, walking out into nature, and just playing a melody and just feeling that presence, that centering of the breath and the sound. And I love that feeling after playing a melody when you stop and the melody ends and that silence comes in. And it's so peaceful. The music allows us to hear the silence that it rides on. It's such a beautiful experience. The native flute is one of the easiest instruments to learn to play. You don't have to have any prior musical experience. You don't have to learn any music theory. You really just cover all the holes and blow lightly. Let me show you. So I'm covering all the holes using the pads of my fingers, so real flat fingers, and then I'm just blowing into it real lightly. From there, you just walk up the flute. You're always opening from the bottom upwards in the beginning, and then you're closing from the top downwards. And once you have those basics down, you can start creating melodies. I'm just going to be walking up and down the flute in the same way, except for instead of walking all the way to the top and all the way back down, I'm going to be going up a little, down a little, back up to the top, back down to the bottom. I'll show you. And that's the basics of starting to play your own melodies on the flute. Each flute comes with a book and a DVD that teaches you what I just showed you, plus shows you kind of the nuances of those techniques and goes into other techniques like how do you create rhythm? How do you jump notes? Like if you want to go from the bottom note up to the top note, or how do you use your breath to create a lot of feeling in your melodies? And with those techniques, that's really it. You can start creating your own melodies and start creating your own music. As the native flute has become more well known, there's also more and more resources online. And not only just teaching the basics like what's taught in the book and the DVD that come with the flute, but also more like things like how to play specific songs on the flute or how to play different scales on the flute or troubleshooting techniques if you're having issues with the flute. We have all these things and more on our Center for Instruction, and there's tons of other resources online. So there's so much support for learning how to play and continuing your journey with this flute.